Alright, so last time we were about to listen to this amazingly wonderful and very satisfying wind noise, and we ran out of time. So now let's check out the wind noise. I'm gonna have to solo it. Aw. Well, that was slightly underwhelming. Let's hear it by itself. I think this is exactly what we want in that section. So, if we hop back over to... Oh, remind me, which one is it? There we go. I get the keyboard shortcuts right, I can do this nice switching. Let's see, it's, gotta look again. 9 for the waveform edit view, and 0 to visit the multi-track. So, this is wind, alright? We kind of want this underneath everything, so let's,
And how small and insignificant we people seem, in contrast to the mountain and the world, and how small and insignificant we people seem, in contrast to the mountain and the world.
Okay, now let's see if this will allow us to loop. It should. As you saw that little thing pop up there. Yay! That should be an even looping, but let's see. We're gonna have to do something interesting. So once again, remembering Alt A, and I'll bring this, and it should just let me line up. Yes. Okay. And then our other trick, right click, oops, right click and drag, copy here. Okay. Now we need to send these to the wind effects. It must be sound effects control. I think I want the wind to be separate from the other sound effects. What else do we have headed to sound effects? It doesn't say. We have to actually look over your sound effects. So we have wind. I don't think there's much other than wind. Okay. Right here, we're going to insert another bus, which I believe is Alt B. That is correct. And we'll name it when it will allow us to write in there. Why is the keyboard disabled? Okay, let's see. Okay, so rain and stuff needs to go to sound effects. Horse gallop also is sound effects, but wind needs to go to our wind effects bus. I guess here is where you could send them to two separate locations. You can send it to a bus and also to the master section, which is sometimes a useful effect. For now, though, we want it all going to that so we can solo these tracks whenever we need to. I got wind effects over here, so let's also send this one to wind. And then tracks 1 and 2, which we're going to rename. The nice thing is when you rename them, they retain the routing. You don't have to redo that in any way. And that is a nice feature. So, more water. And now, wind, wind, wind. All going to wind. So, if I do this, I should find that we're hearing only the wind. Okay, so what we want to do is make so that there's no breaks in this sound. So I'm going to go ahead and drag this one out another loop. We have more wind coming in here, so... So probably what I need to do... Yes, this is what I need to do. So I had the right tool, I just did not have the right position. Okay. So we'll do something like this. You have to be careful when doing this though, because it tends to double. Save changes. So obviously what I'm trying to do is get rid of any sense of a break in there. So I'm going to fade this in actually. And fade it out because you can see it go silent. A perfect loop would not go silent in that way. In fact, if I do this again, I should be able to. Okay, but you have to enable looping, loop. And this one, yeah. Okay, let's check and make sure that, of course, that there's no gaps, and then we'll come over here. Yeah, that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to make it bigger. There we go. So, solo. It looks like there's none, but I also have this thing soloed, so let's see.
Dismount.
Wall out!
Dismount.
Okay, so it does go quiet in places. We're not going to worry about that too much. For one thing, you just don't have birds all the way up the mountain. Realistically, they would end at about this level here. And then ever after that, you wouldn't hear them. So, alright. There'd be an occasional bird, so let me just drag it out a little bit. So again, keeping an eye on the video. And we're just going to ignore this little thing. Well, actually, let's take care of it.
A few moments later.
Okay, so let's see. By this time, they would be gone. So we're going to want a very steep fade. And ooh, that's not very kind, is it? Yeah, I thought I could make an S curve there. I guess not. Okay. Let's come over here. And we shall see. Let's go back to the wind controls. Oh, I need to rename these. Let's call it wind Wind ambience. Oh, let's call it wind. Wind effects 1. Very descriptive. Wind effects 2. Oh wait, no, and then we'll just rename this wind effects 3. And then we'll see if the routing stays the same. See. Okay, so let's hear it in context.
The mountain is just there, calling you, saying, "Take me."
Every time I climb a mountain, a sense of peace and relaxation come over me. No, not physical. It takes a lot of work and sweat to reach the top. It's a kind of mental peace.
Okay, so come over
Drive
here.
to reach the top, no matter what the cost, has led to some of the most tragic accidents in climbing history. So while climbing, I'm always evaluating whether it's time to turn around or not. Is the danger of going on too great? Will an accident mean serious injury or death? The mountain will be there another time, but so must I, so I can come back and enjoy it.
So this one I think needs to fade out too, because he's done, right? So
Serious injury, so I can come back and enjoy it.
that's the end credits section. Okay, so that's as good as that's gonna get. What I thought would be fun is if I hop back over to that the session. I found the session for that, the little intro that I played. So I'm gonna go through and see if I can deconstruct it a little in the couple minutes or so that we have left. Matrix, are you up?
For you, sir, always.
Great. How are your systems?
All systems are functioning at 100%, though we may need to consider upgrading for greater efficiency.
Okay, now first thing I notice is my dialogue is in stereo. Not good, but that's what I did at the time. Looking to see if you can just play these as mono some way. Okay, so my effects rack for it, let's get it back to the default. For Matrix, which is sort of like Jarvis. See, I put a chorus. So if I take the chorus off, well, if I just take all the effects off. Matrix, are you up?
For you, sir, always.
Great. How are your systems?
All systems are functioning at 100%.
Okay, so we have the chorus. I think I can see what I did here. After the chorus.
Systems are functioning at 100%, though we may need to consider upgrading for greater.
Okay, I'm going to have to turn this back on. Okay, so chorus.
Systems are functioning at 100%, though we may need to consider upgrading for greater efficiency.
Okay, so that's one way to do a computer voice. I'm experimenting with another computer voice for another project. And then I added this thing here.
Systems are functioning at 100%, though we may need to consider up.
So that by itself.
Systems are functioning at 100%, though.
I think it's underwater or something. Let's see. Oh, okay, it's sort of a... I don't know why it sounds like it's underwater. We're probably going to go over a bit here. We have 20 seconds. 19, 18, 17, 16.
Functioning
We're
at
going to ignore it.
100%, though we may need to consider upgrading for greater efficiency.
Yeah, I'm working on that.
Of course.
Listen, in the meantime, I need you to bring up a video file indexed M2U00392.
1, 0. Let's just mute that real quick. And I don't want to go too far over, so let's time that as well. All
Functioning
right.
at 100%, though we may need to consider upgrading for greater efficiency.
Yeah, I'm working on that.
Of course.
So over here we have RC3, which is...
Reality check beyond cliche.
Okay, those are the title sequences.
Warning. Restricted access. Enter password or authentication code. Enter password or authentication code. Enter password or authentication code. Access granted. Welcome.
Okay, so that's basically what that is. That's a vocoder. So I took a string sample, and I said these things, and then I send it through the vocoder, which Audition used to have. I don't know if it has it anymore. I don't think it does. Anyway, I could search for that later. So, very basically, what's this here?
Information loading. Please.
Okay, so some computer sounds. Here's our alert. I have this one looped, as you can see. So I didn't bother to name this. I should call this, let's see.
Information loading. Please wait.
Okay, why is that one down there? It should be up here. Okay, and this over here. Okay, that was entering the password and authentication code. So these are computer sounds. So these really should be in the reverse position of where they are. Let's see. I can line it up, and I'll say move here. It's another trick you can do, and I'll move this up here. And okay, now let's see. These are sounds.
392.
These are sounds. This here.
Loading. Please wait.
Hate that message.
Warning. Restricted access. Enter password or authentication code.
Okay, so this shouldn't even be down here. It should be up here. Okay. Let us fix these things. Okay, move here. So I'll put this into, yeah, the sounds is good. We'll call this alarm, because that's what it is. And then there's nothing in track 6. Okay, good, save. Alright, so this one is very simple, but it's basically all about the timing.
Matrix,
So-
are you up?
For you, sir, always.
Great. How are your systems?
All systems are functioning at 100%, though we may need to consider upgrading for greater efficiency.
Yeah, I'm working on that.
So that's when my computer was being overtaxed by the amount of stuff I was doing with it. Not much has changed, except that I now have a computer that isn't taxed by the same things that one would be. Anyway, so...
Of course.
Listen, in the meantime, I need you to bring up a video file indexed M2U00392.
Reality check beyond cliche.
That was a show that I did briefly.
Sir?
An
Did you find it?
experiment on my...
Yes,
First
it's
channel.
located on the RC3 mainframe.
Oh.
Shall I begin authentication?
Sure, go ahead.
Information loading. Please wait.
Hate that message.
It's an exercise in patience, sir.
Right.
Warning.
So here's where the timing comes
Enter
in.
password or authentication code.
Shall I enter your birthday, sir?
No, don't. Just grab the access codes from the file LS2020.
Right.
Enter password or authentication code.
Okay, so I'm noticing something about those 3 times. Where are they now? I guess they're over here. That's right, that's where we need to be. These 3 enter authentication code.
Enter password or authentication code.
See, that one's soft. This one,
Enter password or authentication code. Enter password or authentication.
the computer wouldn't do that. It would be a little bit more even. So I'm gonna cancel. Thank God for the cancel button. Okay, move this over. I'm gonna take this one. About the same length. I'm gonna copy it, and then I'm gonna get rid of this one. Oh, okay.
Enter password or authentication code.
So we have
Enter password or authentication code. Enter password or authentication code.
this computer would sound exactly the same each time,
Enter password or
except for the digital assistant matrix. Okay, here we go.
password or authentication code.
Shall I enter your birthday, sir?
No, don't. Just grab the access codes from the file ls2020.
Right.
Enter password or authentication code.
Done.
Access granted. Welcome.
Okay, well, that's one way. Alright. So, that's basically it. I wonder what would happen. You could continue to experiment, but I think I'll leave this one the way it is because it is sort of the Jarvis inspired. It's supposed to sound like... Inspired? Inspired. It's supposed to sound like this. So, well, that has been it so far in part 17 of sound design and working on the climb and revisiting this old session here. And next time we will take a look hopefully at something else, maybe even going back to USS Sasquatch for a bit, looking at some other stuff. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.